Secure the VSA beacon. Ensure our beacon is safeguarded.
What's going on, guys? This is the Brigade once again, and we're back at it with another session of Killzone Shadow Fall. Alright guys, we're back at it in the Divide. And actually, in last video, I got to talking so much, right, that for the most part, I started a subject and I couldn't finish it. Right, and that's kind of like one of the downsides, just doing these commentaries off the top of your head. Like when you don't run by a script, it's kind of hard, especially when you have a lot of things to talk about. It's kind of difficult to narrow things down within certain time constraints and be done with it, right? So what we're going to do is we're just basically going to pick up where we left off. Now, I will give you a warning. I was playing this map, and I don't know if it's PlayStation Network. I don't know if it's Guerrilla Games. I don't know what it is, but I always get these interruptions. And, I don't know if it's the internet. I don't know what it is, but every now and then I'll get these interruptions and I'll just get booted off the game. So unfortunately, I'm going to get booted off this game, but I'm still going to continue it. Now, the downside, I won't be able to figure out what my stats were because I was actually doing pretty good in this match. But I mean, it is what it is. For a lot of you guys that care more about the commentary, you can just listen. For a lot of you guys that like to notice the commentary and watch the gameplay, you're going to see a quick break. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead, split it up, and paste it back together. But you will see when I got booted. All right, so enough about that. So let's just go ahead and pick up where we left off. Where were we? Okay, so we were talking about the clan system, right? And we were talking about ideally what I would want is a 4x8 team. Now, that's ideal. I'm not saying it would be limited to a 4x8, but that's really what I think would make up a good team. Because when it comes to assault, I've played with and against some good assault guys that, I mean, they really raise hell with that assault class. I've played with other people and they're a lot more passive, right? And, a good point that I would like to make, I remember, I think it was not too long ago, I was playing with T King, right? And he and I both run support all the time. And I think I was talking about running to protect an objective or something like that. And he made a good point. He's like, dude, let the assault do their job. Right? Which is true. But once you see that you are on a team that lacks initiative, like that's what assault is supposed to do. They're supposed to attack objectives and protect objectives. So when all they're doing is sticking themselves in firefights that are in nowhere near the objective, it hurts the team. As a matter of fact, I'm almost willing to say that having an assault class that does not focus on either protecting or attacking objectives, it's almost as bad as having a support guy who is not playing their role and laying spawn beacons and prioritizing reviving teammates. And as a matter of fact, that kind of brings me to a subject that I wasn't even thinking of. Knowing your role and playing it. At the end of the day, these games operate so much better when people know their role and they play it. Now, I'm not saying that since I'm a support guy that I should just sit back and lay passive. Because if you guys notice, a lot of times I find myself, engaging in fights that I probably shouldn't necessarily always be in. Right? But like I said before, if I'm on a team and I'm noticing that these assault guys are kind of passive, they're like waiting in the background, they're not really protecting the objective, then it's kind of like someone's got to grow some balls and show some initiative. Like someone's got to do it. But I just really think he made a good point. He's like, dude, let that assault class do their job. That crap pissed me off right in the middle of that animation, and he saved them. But at the end of the day, he dropped the beacon. So ideally, I would love to run a 12x8. I mean, I'm sorry, not a 12x8, a 4x8, meaning 4 support guys and 8 very strong and aggressive, good shooting assault class members, right? Because if you have some strong assault class members and you have a team of support guys that are very good at very good at reviving, and like I said before, some of the people that I play with all the time, they're like awesome on revive. Like they'll be right in the middle of a firefight and they will sit back and revive like as many people as they can. I mean, I kind of play the same thing. You know, people who play with me, they would know that. I always prioritize that, right? Because in other words, I'm not John Rambo and I'm not the assault class. So it's not my job as an individual to take out teams and take out whole squads, right? That's not my job. So, you know, I am really hoping that that is the case, that we can, you know, get some more people, befriend them. And once we befriend them, you know, just kind of play along together and get some more team members so that when they finally allow us to have this clan system, we can go ahead and play as a team, because I think that would be awesome. Not only for, you know, just for a little competition, but also for the competitiveness. Well, actually, I just said that twice. Not only for the competitiveness, but also for the camaraderie, right? Because it's cool to play with friends. And not only is it good to play with friends, it's good to kind of compete amongst other teams to just, you know, just kind of see how you fare. All right, so enough about the clan systems and hopes for the future. All right, so once again, you know, if you guys are rather experienced and you kind of want to team up, just go ahead and shoot me a message. More than likely, when I'm on, you can go ahead and join, and we can get some good games in. So if you guys notice, we have a lot of action going on, and actually, this is a pretty good team because I don't really remember if it was me, T-King, and Raven on here, but I do know that it was at least me and King. And I think in addition to that, we have some other guys who are doing a good job at laying spawn beacons and support and ground support turrets like I'm doing. So right now we're doing, what is this? Search and destroy attack. Right, you guys notice I'm going to go ahead and put a ground support turret there because guess what? I know those guys are going to come in. They're going to try to deactivate this target. And that's another thing. Like, how do people not understand what to do in these objectives? Like, how do people... Dude, I've been on teams, right? And let's just say we're doing search and destroy defend. So we're defending. And the target, you know, that we're supposed to be defending, like, it'll be almost ready to explode. And you'll have like 5 or 6 assault guys, or any guys for that matter. They'll like just be standing around it. And I'm sitting there looking like, why don't these idiots see that they need to deactivate? Like in other words, why isn't everyone having an adrenaline rush for not only protecting it, but also trying to deactivate it so that we can win the objective? Like, how is that so difficult for some people to see? You know, but I mean, I guess it is what it is. I'm really thinking that some people have tunnel vision and they can't do more than one thing at once. And I think that's really one of the benefits. And actually, I don't know what just happened there, because I beat him to the melee, but somehow later on I died. But the thing is, that's one of the major benefits to playing with friends. Now, it's not always the case that it's just bad during randoms, right? Because I mean, I've had some good teams with randoms. You know, I've been on some random teams where, you know, some of us may be on the chat and they get it, they understand teamwork, right? And when you communicate to them like, hey dude, I'm just going to go ahead and lay a spawn beacon by, let's just say, objective A or objective C, or let's just go ahead and split it up, or I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. Dude, like most of the times whenever we have that good teamwork, the team performs awesome, right? The team performs well. And that's not even, and actually you don't even need a whole squad of people chatting. I would say if you have about 3 or 4 good experienced players and they're chatting and they're communicating with each other and they're good at playing their role, playing and knowing their role, you can really turn a whole team around, right? Because I mean, I've been in situations like that. Now, sometimes when it's you and one other person is pretty difficult, right? Because I've been on teams with, let's just say I'm partying up with, let's just say it's me and one other person that I know we partied up with each other. Okay, I don't know why I didn't kill that guy a lot faster than when I did, because that was like straight bullets to the face. But anyway, there have been times when it's been me and like one other good player, right? And we can drop beacon after beacon, You know, we can drop ground support turret after ground support turret, but if these guys are not spawning in at these beacons, or if they are not, you know, staying at the objective, they're just running around looking for kills, I mean, you're not going to win. So in other words, it's almost like you can lead a dog to water, but you cannot make that dog drink. Right? I mean, sometimes it's like that. As a matter of fact, I think I have a video like that wherein I believe we were in the Spire, and it was me and one. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna look for that video and I'm gonna try and see. You know, and that brings me to another thing. I really need to start doing these live commentaries because there's so many things that I am thinking of at the time that I'm playing the game that and here I go, I get booted. You guys notice that? Like, do you guys ever get those error codes? And this was an actual good match. That was a really good match. And at the end of the day, I had to, and actually I just cut out all the scenes. But what happened is you had to go ahead, quit out the application. And if your friends are in, and actually just so happened the reason why I was able to get right back into the game is because I was playing with friends. Right, so in the event that you guys didn't know, if a friend is playing, you can go ahead and request to join their game, and provided that there's space on their team, you're able to get in. So lucky enough for me, I was able to get in because, I mean, there was room. But if there wasn't room, I would have been booted from a perfectly good game. And that's one of the downsides. You know, like I said before, I don't know if that's a PSN thing. I don't know if that's a Guerrilla Games thing. I don't know what it is, but it's super annoying and someone needs to do something about it. Because if it's a PSN thing, dude, you guys shouldn't be able to get away with murder like you did with PS3, right? When the multiplayer and the online benefits were free. Like we're investing into this thing. Like, we have to pay money for it. So in other words, whereas in other things, you just kind of have to deal with it because it's kind of like what comes with free things. This isn't free. Like, we all pay a fee for it, so we shouldn't be getting disconnected and whatnot. All right, so enough about that. And you know, the downside to this is I didn't get to see my stats, so I'm going to go ahead and cover this bridge. As you guys can see, we're doing search and destroy, defend. So, you know, do I really intend to kill everybody with this ground support turret? No, but guess what? It's a good deterrent. So, in other words, for as long as it lasts, and unfortunately, they blew that sucker up. But it's a good deterrent, right? And that's another thing. I don't like this support guy right here. Like, dude, why are you trying to play John Rambo? Like, seriously, you don't have to play John Rambo. Lay a ground support turret there. And as long as you lay a ground support turret there, you don't have to worry about protecting the bridge. You know why? Because if you lay a ground support turret there, that will occupy them a little bit. And as long as they are occupied, you can focus on picking up your fallen teammates, right? Or doing something else, right? Maybe, let's just say, dropping spawn beacons, or let's just say dropping air support turrets, or let's just say dropping supply boxes. So, you know, I really think that a lot of these support guys during war zones, like, you know, I don't know what they do in team deathmatch, because like I said before, I've played it and I really don't see, like, you really don't need to do anything as a support. And as a matter of fact, if I were one of those guys that played team deathmatch all the time, like, I would never run support. Like, never. I would only run assault class. You know why? Because like in other words, there's really no need to have a strategic placement for anything in team deathmatch. Like, unless you're just trying to base trap your opponents and you just want to keep them trapped and you just want to keep them spawned in, like, there's really no point to it. Every single time that I played team deathmatch, which was only to get the unlocks for it, I've only stuck with assault. And for a lot of you guys that know, I'm not even really an assault fan. Right, I play with it a few times, but I just really love the support class and all of its benefits and what it does for the team. And actually, there is no way those guys are getting this objective. You guys notice we have turrets everywhere. We have, you guys notice that's my turret down there, and then that's another turret right over in that like right over where those stairs are. So, like, there's no way those guys are getting in. And if they do, they'll be pulling off a miracle. Absolutely no way. So if you guys notice, they're starting to come in. And I don't know if they notice all those turrets. And it looks like, okay, so we took care of them. So we don't really have anything to worry about that. Now, for a lot of you guys that like these focus commentaries, you're going to have to excuse me because, you know, I know a lot of you guys say, dude, you're kind of everywhere. And I read the comments. You know, I read them. You know, some of those guys that say, dude, you're just kind of everywhere. You ought to get a script. You ought to be. Listen, I'm not running by a script. There's no way I'm not. I mean, there's no way I'm running by a script. I'm not going to do anything focused. If you want something a little more organized, you might want to check out somebody else. But I do a lot of randomness, right? And this is why I get into these periodic rants every now and then about a particular subject, or, you know, or why I may switch subjects, and sometimes I may even lose focus because I don't go by scripts. It's just kind of whatever's going on at the time and whatever I'm thinking about at the time. That's just so happening what I talk about. And this is for a lot of the guys who may be new to the channel because of the Killzone Shadow Fall videos. For a lot of the guys who are familiar with me because of Dark Souls, I'm pretty sure you guys would know that. Now, with regard to Dark Souls, let me just go ahead and make this announcement, because I get comments on this all the time. All the time I get comments on this. Listen, guys, I think there was like a video update or channel update I did not too long ago. And I basically said that, you know, since I've been playing this game for so long and that I dedicated so many commentary videos on the game, on PvP, covering various subjects, like I really don't have anything else to talk about. And the thing is, you know, I heard some people say, well, why don't you just do showcase videos? Well, I'm not one of those showcase guys. Now, granted, I do have a couple montages, and the montages are cool, but I'm not really a showcase guy. Like, you have some guys who never talk. They just showcase their abilities, right? Because it's entertaining. It's good motivation for people to see and all like that. You know, it's good to see people gank, spank, and whatnot. You know, that's their thing. My thing has never been to show off my abilities. I'm not even all that in Dark Souls. My thing has always been commentaries. And actually, it looks like I'm running out of time on this one, too. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out. And, hey, until next time, Martyrs Brigade is out.